And behold, we have the latest instance of anime whose manga fans have been waiting for an adaptation for a long time, finally getting that adaptation. Tomo-Chan is a girl. I actually read some of this a long time ago. Don't worry, this video isn't actually going to spoil anything. Though my brain is telling me I stopped on like chapter 400. People who are unfamiliar with the manga are probably wondering what I'm talking about when I say chapter 400, by which I mean the structure of this manga is basically one page is one chapter. So when I say chapter 400, I'm really just saying I went about 400 pages into the story. Honestly, I don't remember why I stopped reading it. I know it wasn't bad, I actually rather enjoyed it. Speaking of structure, the structure of the manga is going to be the lead contributing factor in what I think will be the main trip up for anime only viewers, and that is the weird pacing of the story. Like I said, the story is basically divided into one page per chapter, so the adventures can be very short, which is why the anime's first episode may feel like just a few scattered vignettes with little connective tissue or flow. It's because of the way the story is originally structured. Of course, there will definitely be some longer stories, because just because one chapter was a page doesn't mean the pages couldn't flow into each other. I'm just saying you shouldn't let that trip you up if you decide to watch this anime, because it's really good. The scene is set with a beautiful love confession from the main character, Tomo Aizawa, who is trying to confess her love to her crush. Unfortunately, she is a massive tomboy, and her crush, who is her childhood friend, doesn't seem to be capable of comprehending the idea that she's a girl that has interest in him. So when he hears "I love you," all he thinks is, "Yeah, I love you too, bro." So that's basically the main comedic and dramatic draw of the story, in Tomo's conflict between trying to assert herself as a girl while also dealing with the fact that she does not act like it at all. I mean, that's just something you have to accept when your main after school session is beating up all the boys in the karate class because the girls are too scared to actually fight you after the first time. Either way, it is pretty funny. And of course, we should probably give some focus to the other characters, specifically two. There's Junichiro, who is interesting in that I think it's pretty clear he does have some very deeply buried feelings for Tomo. Because like, he wouldn't act the way he does if he is completely unaware of the fact that she's a girl. He's just generally unaware that she's a girl. And also there's Misuzu, the main third reel of their group, who is also another childhood friend. She and Junichiro have a very, how do I describe this, rough relationship because of the way they used to hang out as children. So that's also another great source of comedy, because it turns out, on top of being oblivious, Junichiro can be hilariously petty when his buttons are pushed by Misuzu, and she just really enjoys pushing her friends' buttons, especially with how oblivious they are about trying to get together. There are other side characters featured in the first episode, but I don't feel they're important enough to really bring up here, and if you're gonna watch this, I think you should be more surprised by the role they play. The art style of the anime is great, and the voice acting is spectacular, especially for Tomo, whose frustration and attempts to assert herself as a feminine girl, even as she threatens to beat up other girls because she thinks they're picking a fight with her, are just really bolstered by the voice actress's talents. To not go too deeply into things I may or may not remember from when I read the manga a few years ago, but are definitely resurfacing as I'm looking at this story is starting out with rather uncomplicated characters, but there are seeds here for the relationships and character dynamics to get more and more complex as we go deeper and deeper into the story and get to know everyone better. Though, if I'm gonna be honest, I do have one lingering question at the end of the episode, because Jun doesn't seem to know that Tomo is in the karate club based on his dialogue, which is odd. It feels like a bit of a contrivance, but whatever. All in all, I definitely recommend this because it is the start of a really good story, and it's really funny and well animated and acted. Tomo is a really endearing character because you really feel like you want to root for her, but you also feel that it's kind of funny when she misunderstands something that's happening because of the way she acts and the way she was raised. I heard somewhere that they're just going to adapt the entirety of the story in this I find it hard to believe it's all going to be over in one season, but I heard they're just going to adapt the entirety of the story. So I can't wait to get to finally catch up and actually see the entirety of her attempts to romance her best friend and get him to realize that she's a girl trying to romance him. I wish her good luck. If you're a fan of romance, comedy, or the comedic relationships and dynamics that can be created between strong characters in weird situations, I recommend you join me in watching this anime and seeing the whole progress of Tomo's love life. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe for more content so you don't miss my other first impressions videos. Also, you could probably check them out in the playlist that should be somewhere on screen right now. Thank you and good day.